All right, so we're back. We're going to put together two more sauces, maybe even considered to be condiments. You can maybe be the judge after we put these together. So come on over here to the stove. Both of these sauces are very, very similar, and we're going to serve them both with a couple of grilled steaks. Now, if you have an item like this, a piece of equipment like this at home, great. It's got the ridged markings on it. So when we add the steak to it, you're going to get that smoke and that kind of that grilled texture, which would be great with these two different sauces. If you don't, that's perfectly fine too. Maybe you have a barbecue outside. That's a possibility. Or if not, we just do the roasted steaks like we've done in the past. So first thing we want to do though is we want to get these seasoned up. We'll do two at once here. Go. We want to get a little bit of oil on our cooking surface, and we also want to put a little bit of oil on our steak. In this case, we've got some olive oil, some virgin. If not, you can also, if you don't have that, you can also use some spray oil, PAM or other kind of spray oil. It works just as well. So we'll get those on here, and like the pan, when we drop things into a pan, we want to drop them away from us. Wash my hands. The heat is pretty high, as you can tell. So we're going to actually season this side as well now. We can finish these on this grill top right here, or we can mark them and finish them in the oven. That's a possibility. Sometimes we refer to that as marking it and parking it. So we mark it on the grill, set off to the side, and for later use, we actually pop it into the oven to finish. So we'll worry about that when the time comes. But those will probably take on this grill right here with about a medium heat, maybe 3 minutes aside, 4 minutes aside perhaps. And if we just mark it and pop it in the oven, they might take about a total of, say, 5 minutes in the oven. So we'll worry about that. Let's talk about the sauce, at least the first sauce anyway. So the first sauce is going to be something called a chimichurri sauce, which is South American, Argentinian in nature. Parsley, flat leaf or curly, doesn't really matter. Flat leaf parsley, cilantro, fresh oregano, garlic, and some shallot. Again, rough chop. We're going to put this in the food processor or the blender. Either one works fine. But again, fresh parsley, fresh herbs, much, much better in this case. So we're going to start by popping this shallot and garlic into the food processor and get that started. Plug it in helps. You can probably see my cheat sheet right here. Okay, everybody has to have a cheat sheet. So we'll pulse that a few times. Okay, that looks good. Get in there for a second. All right, so now we'll add the rest of our herbs, like the fresh oregano, and really it's entirely up to you how much of each herb that you'd like to put in there. This is your, your concoction here, your creation. You will see that there's going to be, if you Google and search for chimichurri, you'll probably come up with quite a few variations. So we'll start that again, pulsing it. All right, now we're good to go. Now we're going to start adding some olive oil to this, right through the tube. We're not making much, so maybe might be about a third of a cup. Now we're going to add a little bit of sherry vinegar. You'll probably see some recipes that call for red wine vinegar, and that's perfectly fine as well. Even rice wine vinegar would be fine. Not unlike making not unlike making a vinaigrette, we're going to have approximately 3 parts of extra virgin olive oil to 1 part of the sherry vinegar. Okay? So I think we're actually pretty good right there. We can take this off. That looks fine. We haven't put any salt and pepper in there yet. We'll take it out, put it into a bowl, and we'll just have the salt and pepper once it's in the bowl, and that'll be fine. So, a little salt and pepper. Remember, the vinegar's got kind of a salty quality to it. There we go. So that's our chimichurri sauce. That's going to go with our grilled steak. When we come back, we'll talk about the other sauce, very, very similar. That'll be the salsa verde, and we'll dish up our steaks with both those sauces. See you in a second.